I am live from Disneyland. It's early in the morning and the park is crowded, and this is the new Disneyland after Rise of the Resistance has opened. This morning, Main Street was flooded with people playing the Disneyland lottery, just trying to get one of those boarding passes. Me and my friend got one, but it's pretty late, which leads to a day of, do you wander around Disneyland or do you go home and try to be productive? So the park nowadays just opens up to a huge crowd, which used to be different. Disneyland used to open up very sort of steady. All the families, all the out-of-towners would rush in, but the locals would tend to stay away. But now it's just packed out of the get-go. I'll show you around a little bit. So you can see there's already the crowd that's formed in front of the Sleeping Beauty's castle. But for a cold day in the off season, the park just starts out packed now, and it's all because of Rise being open. So I thought I'd go live for a little bit and show you guys just how busy it gets in the mornings. And keep in mind, this is technically an off season. Lots of things are closed and down right now for refurbishments. It's windy for Anaheim. It's cold. It's started out in the 40s this morning, which is, about as rough as it gets for us out here. And you can just see that the park just starts off with tons of people. Over in the Galaxy's Edge, it was just packed with folks, and a lot like us. They got their boarding passes and are just wondering, what do I do now? I mean, granted, if you're in from out of town and you're on vacation, then you're going to just rip the park all day long. But for those of us that are locals that come just to ride that, it creates an unusual Disneyland experience. So you can see the opening to Frontierland is pretty packed. And same for Adventureland. I am Ubering. I'm going to stay on the hub until somebody sends me elsewhere. I know that I had said I would do California Adventure next time, but I'm normally here at night. And so I thought while I was here with the sun up, that I actually do a little Disneyland during the daytime. So you can see how busy Main Street is. I'll take you over to Tomorrowland, which generally is the most congested. Wind is so crazy here today. Park closes at 9 o'clock tonight, and there would be a zero chance of fireworks if it was open later. Let's look at Tomorrowland. I mean, if I zoom in, you can just see all the people over there at Buzz's. So Rise of the Resistance boarding passes went in about 1 minute today. And we got here early and kept getting the something went wrong, which means that the system is just flooded. And we got a pretty late number. I don't exactly want to say because I'm working on a video that will come out over the weekend. I don't want to ruin everything, but it is packed. And especially if you're a local and you're used to, how the morning used to be so different and how the off season used to be a quiet time, you can really appreciate how packed it is. So to all the people in the social media atmosphere that kept saying, oh, the park's dead, they broke the park. Well, you got your wish. It's back to being packed. And just imagine what spring break and various peak times are going to look like. I'm telling you, Steve, it's not a bad time to have your pass on hold. If you guys are taking a little break from Disneyland, because there's a lot of sorting out to do right now. new paint job on the castle does look fantastic, though. That is just great. I come here so much at nighttime that I'm not used to the crazy crowds and seeing everything with the bright sun blaring down on it. Yeah, the blackout dates this summer are going to be interesting, but I kind of think, especially if you're someone that has a family, you probably don't want to be here on blackout dates because, they black them out for a very specific reason. And, to my point, if this is what the park's looking like because all the early Rise of the Resistance folks are showing up, I don't see how it doesn't just get worse, I'm not complaining. I mean, everybody wants to ride it, and they should. It's amazing, but it's just really changed the vibe of things and how it all works. The old fire truck is loading up for some folks to take them back to Town Square. If anybody wants to request an Uber, I'd be more than happy to switch locations. Shutting it down is the way to go. When I show up early like this, when you come late, you just easily park, easily get into the park. When you come early, it took forever to get to the parking garage. Everything's just crowded. I mean, and I get it because there's a lot of people in from out of town. They're spending a lot of money, and they want to get the most of it. And I respect that not everybody has the crazy access that some of us do to the park. But because I do have that access, I have the privilege to show up late, like you said, 6 o'clock, shut it down. Where basically, after the evening shows, every hour you just get less and less people filtering out. Did notice that the Matterhorn has the waterfall turned off. You can see that the waterfall there has been turned off. That was the area where they had. Look at this. We got some traffic on Main Street. Look at that. Love the transportation on Main Street. It's so good. And right behind him, we have the double-decker tour bus. Which I'll tell you right now, if you've never rode on the top level of that tour bus, you get great shots of Main Street. When I was doing artwork for the Wonderground Gallery here at Disneyland, and I was trying to get resource images, I would ride up top there and go down Main Street with my GoPro and could just easily capture all of the buildings, all of the signs to get what I needed. So that is a great photo spot. All right, Steve just did a super chat. He wants to go to King Arthur's Carousel. Let's go see it. It is going to be covered in construction scrims. You know what? For once, since I'm doing different things, I'm just going to go down the center pathway. I normally take either the path on this side or this path right here. But today, I'm doing things different. So let's just go right through the center. If you guys don't know, that is the Disney family crest right there. Pause for a second. And you always gotta take a little break. You can see, is that over there? Got a character meet and greet. Got the Sleeping Beauty style trimmed trees. Right here they used to put a Christmas tree that would float there in the water for the holiday season. This drawbridge actually does work. If you look back at opening day, they opened the drawbridge to let the children of the world in. And it stayed open until they shut it for one of the constructions. I don't know if you guys remember, but along the bridge here, there actually used to be benches in these little enclaves. That I'm standing in. All right, traffic is broke. What do you say we roll through and go to the carousel as requested by Steve? Thank you so much, Steve. All right, coming in, you can see the big blue scrim around it. Woo, catching a lot of wind. If you see the top of the carousel, you can see that they've really worked on the top there, the top spire. Pop in here real quick. You can see Sleeping Beauty is got a lot of scrims going on around it. So they're full on going around. You can see right there, that's where the evil queen looks at you. You can see that they've got that completely blocked off. Yeah, there's a lot of refurbishments right now. The line for Peter Pan is healthy as always. But yeah, you can see right here. You can see the workers there. Imagineers always have the orange helmets on with their names on the front. Oh, that child. All right, let's do a lap around King Arthur. Being a local, it's always fun for me to hear all the different languages being spoken at Disneyland, which just reminds you how lucky we are to have this in our backyard and how some people come all the way from around the world to get to do this icon. All right. Thank you, Steve, for bringing us to Fantasyland. If anybody wants to request another location, just Uber me in the super chat. But until then, we'll just hang out in Fantasyland. And I'll show you one of my favorite fireworks spots. So straight ahead is a great fireworks spot for a date night because you'll be the only people here. Whether you decide to sit in this patio or up on the patio up there, if you can see that one, you will generally be the only people there. Sorry. Because here, which is right now Stroller City, man, this is insane. I'm so used to nighttime. This gets roped off for fireworks. And most people are in front of Sleeping Beauty or Small World of Rivers of America. Those are the three places they try to send you. But the benefit
where is a Red Rose Tavern?
Of coming here, which is now the Red Rose Tavern, the benefit of sitting out here in this courtyard is that you're generally really by yourself. I like this table over here in the corner. You're by yourself, and the best thing is the fireworks happen right up there. So you have the fireworks right above you. Now you don't exactly have music, but if you're going for something a little bit more quiet and intimate, you have that going for you. Probably the table over here would be best because you don't have any trees obstructing your view. So if you came in and sat like right here, then you would have the fireworks right there and all to yourself, which would be pretty awesome. I do love the facade of this restaurant. Look at that tower. So cool. Casey Jr.'s whipping by up there. Step over here. I just love the way that all of that gets broken up into looking like a bunch of different buildings, but it's one building. So this right here, this gate and those stairs keeps you from going up to where you used to get on. The Sky Bucket would load you up there. And as you can see, we are straight in line with Matterhorn. So there was actually a hole punched right in there. You could go right into Tomorrowland. Victor says, finally got an annual pass after being a visit to Disneyland once a year kind of guy. Super excited. Man, Victor, I am so pumped for you because the pass takes off so much of the pressure, allowing you to enjoy the park at the pace that you want to enjoy it and to come up with bizarre missions, you know? When I first came here, one of my, I guess maybe my third or fourth visit with my pass was like, I just want to come and walk the entire perimeter of the park. My boy Russ Tuck, no R. We'll go with Truck, I like that. Russ Truck wants to go over to the Nemo subs. Let's roll. Yeah, man, when you get that Disneyland pass, it's like you can just cruise at your own pace. I'm sad I missed you too, man. I think we were here on 80s night, but it was just so crazy. You live 5.5 hours away, so that's what was keeping you from doing it. Yeah, and you're going to be coming into town for conventions, and 5.5 hours isn't too bad, and it'll probably make you enjoy it more. And since you're paying for the pass, the good thing is you're going to force yourself to put it in your schedule.
Victor's here with celebrating your arm.
Taking Russ over to the subs. Finding Nemo subs is a one and done for me. I did it one time, had a kid screaming the entire time sitting next to me, started to feel very claustrophobic, and I had a little voice in my head that said, if this ride makes you claustrophobic and you can't ever fly in an airplane again, one, you'll never get to see your family back home, and two, you will ruin your career. Look at this wind. The good thing about having a pass too, when you live 5.5 hours away, is you get to do crazy stuff. Like if you get into Anaheim at 10 o'clock at night, you can say, hey, let's just go to the park for the remaining 2 hours. Yeah, Victor says that it's super stressful visiting once a year, and I agree. I feel the heat. I feel the heat when I have visitors in from out of town, that I want to try to get them everything that I can. And it's a lot to pack in. Small World is back to normal and open. It is just so packed. And this is the new Disneyland because of Rise of the Resistance. Yeah, the subs. I can only imagine what the submarines must be like as a kid. So I always love pointing the spot out to people. Oh, perfect timing. Look at that, Disney win. This area out here, I'm telling you, if you're in from out of town and you're doing an all-day grind and you have kids with you or cranky people with you, this is such a good place to just pop in with the family, get some snacks, let everybody detox, come down, regroup. Yeah, I mean, it's been super busy, and with the way that the boarding pass system works, as much as I'm a huge fan of it, and I am a huge fan, it just forces people to get in here before 8 a.m. So there used to be this moment where the two ways to really take advantage of Disneyland was to get here really late or really early. And now the really early has been stricken. As you can see, when I got you guys with me and I do the tour, I'm always just like popping out of the busy path. So let's just do a little quick submarine. See if we can't catch a. There we go. Oh, David, I absolutely think that there will be a big increase to hotel guests. I just think we're probably looking at one of the most epically busy summers in Disneyland history. In particular, once we know when the Avengers campus opens, because I think that's that last select group of people that are waiting to spend their money when they know that all the new stuff is open. They want to book the flight, get the hotel room, pack up the kids, burn vacation days when they know they can do Galaxy's Edge, all attractions open, and Avengers Campus. The Haunted Mansion is going to probably open late spring. They're doing a deep refurbish on it. And I think that the holiday layover, or overlay I should say, I've been corrected on using the wrong term. The holiday overlay has taken a toll on the attraction. So I think that they're trying to do a lot of repair. So you can see that back path that brings Fantasyland and Small World together is really busy. Look at the trees blowing over there. That is wild. I mean, it for those of you that will know what I'm talking about, it almost feels like a Santa Ana day, minus the heat. Santa Ana winds are super hot. This wind is very cold, very chilly for Southern California. Just so anticipating what that Tomorrowland announcement's going to be. Everybody knows they have to do something. What are they going to do? All right, let's shoot up to the top of the Matterhorn. Fun fact, Matterhorn to this day, still the tallest thing in the Disneyland Resort. Which I believe, I could be wrong on this, but just an educated guess, I think that would make it the tallest thing in Anaheim. How long do you think it will take for boarding pass virtual queue craze to calm down? Timmy said, we managed passes Friday. It was the most stressful thing I've dealt with in the morning at Disneyland. Yeah, it turns Disneyland. I'm gonna steal a comment from somebody who watched the video that said it's supposed to be an amusement park, not a casino. And it does have a very casino vibe to it. I think that the boarding pass system and the craziness is gonna be, I'm gonna say for the next year at least. And I'm basing that off of the popularity of Radiator Springs Racers. Radiator Springs Racers, for years, you couldn't get you couldn't get those fast passes unless you were here right at opening. And this is a whole other system of that's the only way you get to ride it. Oh, Atomic Child, that's so great you're coming to town. I hope you get on it as well. I mean, here's the thing you got to keep in mind. The attraction's been getting to about 100 boarding groups per day, right? And so if they can do between 1,000 and 1,500 people a day, and the park's open for 12 hours, which it is most days, sometimes more, but we'll go at 12. 1,000 people an hour times 12 is 12,000. If you add in that it could be a little bit more, you could be looking at 15,000 people in a day's time. So you really have to ask yourself, when you come in the front gate and you're standing on Main Street, is there 15,000 people around me? To keep in mind what 15,000 people looks like, that's a hockey arena. So if you're a Ducks fan or a Kings fan or Sabres fan, and you know what that arena looks like packed, that's give or take Rise of the Resistance in one operational day. So I like your odds of getting on. It's just a matter of what time. And like I said, we have a very, very late time today. I love that you can see the little hands in there. What an attraction to operate, right? It's so wild. So wild that somebody just drives that in a circle all day. I love that. All right. I'm going to stay live for a little bit. If anybody wants to request a super chat, a different location, just let me know. But I do love the lagoon. I do miss that I never got to see it with the mermaids hanging out right here. That would have been really something to see. If you got to see that, I'm super jealous of you. We will be doing our weekly talk show again tomorrow. That took last week off for 80s night, but I'll be back with a whole bunch of topics for us to talk about tomorrow. So tune in when you see me go live tomorrow. We'll be doing the talk show from my home studio, which thanks to all the super chats soon, I will be having a lighting rig and a green screen so we can make it look even more like a talk show. I don't know the time yet because my wife is doing an Instagram live tomorrow with one of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So I don't want to steal her bandwidth. Yeah, a lot of weird stuff happens at the Bricky House. I saw Victor ask me if I could work on any ride, what would it be? So I'm gonna break that question a little bit. I would really like to work on one of the shows. I'll give you my answer, then you tell me if I lied or if I broke your request. I would really love to work on one of the nighttime shows. I think being a part of that production unit and running the show and making sure that it's on time and operating and conducting, all of those cast members to put on a good show, I think that would be great. So like being a part of Fantasmic would be awesome. If that's cheating, I think I would love to maybe drive the Mark Twain, because I am from Kentucky. I grew up on the banks of the Ohio River, and steamboats have been in my life my entire existence. And on certain days, the Mark Twain can make me choke up and miss being a kid and hearing the organ of the Belle of Louisville go down the Ohio River. And if I had to be a cast member, I for sure know what job I would love to do because I'm doing it right now. I'd love to be one of the plaid vest tour guides. How far away do you think you are from getting behind the scenes Disneyland on the attraction side? So I've been backstage a couple of times with working with the park, with ride breakdowns and private tours. I appreciate, Eric, that you think I'd be a good paddle boat captain. You know, I fancy myself a riverman. I do. But I think driving the boat around that'd be fun. Or maybe the monorail. I love driving, which is ironic that I'm soon purchasing a car that drives itself, but that's a whole other subject for a different day. Okay. If we have no other requests, I think I might bring the live stream down and go shoot some of my other things while I patiently wait my Rise of the Resistance boarding pass. Friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me at Disneyland this morning. It was cool to go live here. What are all those kids doing there? Shouldn't they be in school? I'll tell you this. When you come to Disneyland, you realize no kids go to school anymore. That school's like something our generation did, and now nobody's in school. I'm not telling the boarding pass because I'm doing a vlog that will go out this weekend on the channel because it's Jared's first time to ride. So I'm keeping that to myself, but it is, it's not preferable. I'll put it that way. To the point where we're like, do we need to come back tomorrow and do this all over again? Yeah, Eric, I'm just, driving a little Uber on my lunch break. All right, thanks so much. I appreciate that, Tammy. No, he hasn't wrote it yet because he's been super busy traveling for work, and we're trying to get it in before he goes to Epcot next week for the Food and Wine Festival, because Jared will be doing signings starting Friday for a week. He'll be out at Epcot. It's really weird because all my Disneyland friends, or Disneyland artist friends, my former co-workers, they all just keep sparsely like piecing out for a week to go out there and do Epcot and do the signings, which, mildly makes me miss working for the park. But, I've chose this path and no regrets on all these fun adventures. All right, I always like to say goodbye to you from one of my favorite spots. It seems that our Ubering is done for the day. So unless somebody takes me elsewhere, I'm gonna walk out to the end of Fantasmic Gardens, something like that. And say goodbye to you from one of my favorite spots. Let's just do it right here, because you can see behind me. I'll flip around this way. Got the train, Small World. Excuse me, sir. And then right back here, it's about as deep as you can look into the park. And there goes the monorail. All right, thank you so much to my Uber fares. Always appreciate the support for the channel. And I'll see you tomorrow live from my home studio when we'll do our weekly talk show. And I got a lot of new videos coming up. Make sure you go check out the Star Wars video that I put up talking about the Star Wars After Dark party that will happen this August. Hopefully you buy a ticket. Hopefully I get a ticket and I see you when you come out here in August. All right, everybody, have fun whatever you're doing today. And remember, live the magic every single day. Goodbye.